Welcome, everybody, to this special presentation of 24 Hacks. This is in celebration of the Billion Dollar Seller Club, or BDC's first birthday. We started this last July, and I wanted to share some of the cool stuff that's come from this year, from three different events this year, from the Billion Dollar Seller Summit virtual event back in January, from the Ecom Mastery event in April, and from inside the club as well. Even if you were at all three of those, or a member of all three of those, or have been to all three of those, there's still going to be some good stuff here that either is going to remind you of something that you saw or something that you totally missed. So there's going to be something for everybody here today in this call. Just a couple quick housekeeping things. Some of you probably already know this, but I host the Marketing Misfits podcast with Norm Farrar. If you're not listening to that podcast, you should be. It's not Amazon only. We do cover some Amazon stuff, but we cover general marketing, a lot of stuff that would apply to everybody on this call that's in e-commerce. We've had everybody from Neil Patel to Forbes Riley to Ezra Firestone to you name it. It's a who's list of some of the most smartest and top people in the space have been on. It comes out every single Tuesday. Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You can go to the marketingmisfits.co website and pick it up there. So I encourage you to check that out. Like I said, we've had tons of guests. We've been doing it a little over 2 years now, and we haven't missed a beat. So it's over 100 episodes. They're about an hour long each. And so I know not everybody has an hour to devote. Maybe you're on the train or you're on a trip, you're on a plane, and you can catch up on some of them. But if you just want to catch up on the core stuff and you're like, I don't have an hour to listen to a podcast, you might want to check out the newsletter. It's called misfits.news, or you can scan that QR code. Every Wednesday, we put out a new edition of the newsletter, and we take two podcast episodes and put them together into one newsletter and summarize them with graphics. It's easy to read. It's different than the Billion Dollar Sellers newsletter. It's a different format. So people loving it are loving it that are on it. It's just started in March, so you can go back and read some of the past ones, or you can get the new ones, but it's totally free. It's once a week. It's at misfits.news. And I highly encourage everybody to scan that QR code or jot down that URL to actually go and check it out. Some of you have been to Market Masters, or maybe you were at the Prosper Show last March in Vegas, and you know that we do a game called Murderbot. And at Market Masters in Austin, we've done this at the last, I think, two of them, and we'll be doing it again in August at the next one. And what we do is we set up an arena, and we actually have a Roomba, one of those automatic vacuum cleaners that kind of goes around your house and vacuums on its own. And we tape knives to the top of the Roomba, put like 10 different knives on the top. And then people pay, actually, when we're doing it at Market Masters, you pay $20, real money, and you get a balloon, and you write your name on that balloon. And then on the count of 10 or whatever, everybody drops their balloon into the pin. And the Roomba goes around, and randomly, the knives on the end, it randomly pops balloons. And the last balloon standing wins the entire pot. It's a really fun game, especially when you've been drinking and when it's got real money involved. And people love it. And sometimes the pot can be 700-800 bucks. And it's really cool. We'll be doing it again in August. But we're also, Norm and I have taken this and we've changed the knives to cigars. And we're doing something called Misfit Mayhem. And you can see there on the end of that room, but there's a cigar. It's an online game. And so we're going to be hosting some live events coming up soon. We'll be announcing them on social media and through the newsletter and by email, where you can come and play for free and you can win prizes and win all kinds of cool stuff. It's a really cool game. Be having guests on as well. It's going to be kind of like almost like a live game podcast for the Misfit. So make sure you check out and look for that announcement when we do that. Um, since this is a happy birthday to BDSC, it's also almost 3 years now since the newsletter has been running. I started the Billion Dollar Sellers newsletter August 14th of 2023. It comes out every Monday and Thursday. We haven't missed a single edition. There hasn't been a single time where one didn't publish. You know, some people that do newsletters, they miss some, or they go on vacation, or they quit for a while. There hasn't been one missed. And so in celebration of that, what I want to do today is somebody on this call, and there's a couple hundred of you right now on this call, somebody that's on this call is going to win a free ticket to come to Austin for Market Masters next month. It's August 20th to the 24th in Austin. Those tickets are normally $3,997. So it's an audience ticket. It's not a hot seat ticket. It's an audience ticket, which means you get to come and participate, listen to the hot seats, go to the workshops. You get to do a whole bunch of stuff. You have to be present to win. So we're going to do that drawing at the very end of this. And so if you're here and you're present, I'll show you how to enter, and somebody's going to win that free ticket. All you got to do is pay your airfare and your accommodation, but you don't have to pay for the ticket to come. So make sure you stick around to the end for that. If you're watching this on the replay, I'm sorry. I might have another thing for the replay, but I'm not sure yet. But if you're watching on the replay, sorry you weren't here live to have a chance to win that. All right, let's get into the hacks. Let's do what everybody's here for. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to do these in sections of 8. So there's going to be sections of 8, 24 different ones. So they're coming from 3 different vaults. So some of them are coming from the virtual event in January of this year. Some of them are coming from Ecom Mastery in April. And some of them are coming from inside the $1 Billion Sellers Club. On each one of these, pretty much most of them are 2 screens. So on the first screen, I'm going to tell you what it is and why it might be helpful for you. And then on the second screen, it's going to be an SOP. It's going to be step by step what you need to do. So you might want to be ready to screen snap or snap a picture of the screen on a lot of these that make sense to you. All 24 probably aren't going to be for everybody, but there's going to be 4, 5, 6, 10 that apply to everybody here that either you can do yourself or you can pass off to your team. But the beauty is you're not going to be following me through like, okay, let me show you. And you're like, okay, I'm getting lost. You're going to have a single page that's step by step, exactly where to log in, what tool to do, what to search for, everything. So it's going to be laid out for you as easy as possible. So be ready to screen share. I'll try to send out the PDF with this. But if you're watching on the replay, sometimes it doesn't get attached. Sometimes it doesn't. So it's best to actually screenshot if you can. All right, let's do it. Let's do BDSS 13, the first 8 hacks from the virtual summit. This one is make Alexa rewrite your listing for you. So most sellers AI optimize their listings before knowing what the sellers are actually buying on. So what that does is it forces Alexa to surface real buyer objections and intent. Amy Weiss is the one that actually revealed this, and she used it to discover a juice cleanse buyer was actually searching for bloating rather than weight loss. And so she rewrote the listing accordingly and saw everything jump dramatically for her on conversions and sales. So the way you do this step by step is on your live product display page on Amazon, you ask Alexa 5 questions. What's this for? What do people like? What don't they like? What are they buying instead? And why other alternatives? Those are the 5 questions you want to ask it on your page. You're going to take those answers and you're going to paste those along with your full listings, title and bullets and images and A+ screenshots. There's a tool called Go Full Page. It's a free Chrome extension. So if you use the Chrome browser, just Google Go Full Page in the Chrome store and download that. It'll snapshot a PDF or a PNG of your entire page, so you don't have to sit there and cut and paste or try to get it all to fit on one page. It's a really cool tool. So take that along with those 5 answers and then put that into ChatGPT or whatever your favorite AI is and say, optimize this listing for AI, SEO, and conversions. First, give me 7 more Alexa questions to ask, and then rewrite the titles, bullets, and everything accordingly. You're then going to ask those new questions that it gives you, paste those answers back in, and have it rewrite the listing one more time. And then if you're going to fix something in the image stack, fix image number 2 first, because it's going to actually help the conversion better than any fix in the A+ module, especially for Alexa, because it reads the images. So make sure that image number 2 is fully optimized based on what this comes back to you. So this here will help you convert and a lot more, and make sure you're tuned in to Alexa, which used to be called Rufus, but it's called Alexa for shopping now. So this is number 1. Make sure you screenshot that step by step so you have this for later. All right, next, number 2, hack number 2. This is the $2 cost per click cart abandoner audience that nobody runs. So AMC or Amazon Marketing Cloud lets you retarget shoppers who added to their cart but didn't buy. So these are people that came, they put your product in their cart, but they actually didn't go through with the purchase. And that's the lowest hanging fruit you have on Amazon is someone who actually showed intent. They just, for whatever reason, got distracted. Something happened. Maybe their credit card, they need to go make a payment on their credit card before they could run it. Whatever it was, these people are primed to actually to grab. So you can drop your CPC, your cost per click, from $8 to $2 in a category as competitive as supplements with this. All you have to do is go into AMC, and everybody has access to it now. This used to be restricted to big spenders and big accounts, but everybody has access now. So you should use it. Here's how you do it. So you're going to go to your ads. You go to measurements and reporting, AMC, create audiences, instructional query, cart to banner. So that whole process there. Now you're going to screenshot this, so you'll have all these instructions. You're going to do a look back of 7 days, and you're going to make sure the auto adjust date is set to on. And then you're going to give this audience a name. So maybe the ASIN name, cart in 7 days, or whatever terminology you want to use. You're going to paste in your ASIN or ASINs, and then it's going to go off and do a whole bunch of AI thinking, and it's going to build this, and it might take as much as 15 minutes. And then you're going to create a brand tailored promotion that delivers a coupon when the cart abandoned returns. So they put something in your cart, they leave Amazon. The next time they come back, it's going to pop up a special coupon for them to give them extra reason to actually go ahead and complete the sale. So you're going to build 2 campaigns, a sponsored display retargeting and a sponsored products exact match. So they don't have to come back to your product page. They could just, as soon as they come back on Amazon or go, it's going to start retargeting them and saying, hey, don't forget, you left Kevin's product in the cart. Here's an extra coupon to go and complete the sale. Then you're going to do a bid rule, number 5, 40% below the suggested, audience modifier of plus 200%, and all placements at 0. So that forces the spend to this audience. So you're not going to be wasting it on other people that weren't in this audience. And you'll just repeat this flow with repeat buyer, non-subscribe and save, or competitor brand search. This is a really great tip from Juana. Juana will be in Austin for Market Masters next month as well. So those of you that are coming out to Austin, you'll get to meet her and pick her brain. But she's super good at this AMC stuff, and this is a really powerful technique to get these people back. So make sure you get a screenshot of hack number 2, and then we'll go on to hack number 3. Number 3, this is how you generate 40 listing images for free in 10 minutes. So Google, there's tons of tools that will create images now, and there's ChatGPT has Codex and 5.5. There's tons of tools, but this one, Nano Banana Pro, still does an okay job. With Google's new AI Studio, they give you $300 in free credits. So that's a reason to try it there first. And if you just can't get what you want, you might want to go to another tool. But if you're on a budget, this $300 in free stuff is really good. So Jay Margolot actually created a super prompt. And I'm going to give you that prompt here in a second, but it outputs 40 different image variations in one pass, and just boom. And then you can A/B test these and see which ones are performing best, and you don't have to guess. So here's the steps to it. So make sure you screenshot this. You're going to go to aistudio.google.com, select new projects, set up your billing, and add a card. You might have to add a credit card just to get past it. But it's not going to necessarily charge you right away because you're going to get $300 in free credits as long as you use those in 90 days. So you get 90 days to use those. And then you're going to create an API key right inside there and select Nano Banana Pro as your image model and link the key. And then you're going to go and export all your Amazon reviews via Helium 10's Review Insights. Now, Helium 10's Review Insights, Amazon is restricting what you can get these days on reviews because they know it's powerful data. And they don't want a lot of people mining this data and using it, unfortunately. But it's one of the most powerful things you can get is all that review data. So you can go to voc.ai and download the last 2 years worth. It's cached at voc.ai. It's not going to have the current ones like within the last several months, but it'll go back about 2 years, so you could get older stuff. Or there's a little trick that Helium 10 just announced. Shivali just announced this recently, that if the product is on TikTok Shop and you actually pull up TikTok Shop in the Chrome browser and go to that product and then actually use the Helium 10 TikTok extension, to extract the reviews, it will extract all the Amazon reviews in full. So it bypasses the limitations. So give that a shot. And then you want to grab those reviews, then all the rest, your title, bullets, and uh, 5 to 10 phone photos of the product. So you can actually take some pictures with your phone. Doesn't have to be good lighting or anything from different angles and different sides, just rough pictures. You're just giving it a reference. Then you're going to go to genspark.ai and go to the super agent and paste Jay's super prompt. And I'm going to give you that link on the next screen. And then upload all the stuff you just gathered from Helium 10, like the reviews and title and bullets. And you're going to run it, and you'll come back in a short while, and it'll make 40 different images, main variants, infographics. It'll make all kinds of stuff, all driven by the pain points in the reviews. So this is stuff that the customers are bitching about. And you're addressing them in the photos. It's super powerful. And sometimes, some of the ChatGPT is really good about getting text right now, but sometimes the older tools will mess up some text. If they do, you can either have it redo it, or you can bring that stuff into a Canva and you can actually edit it pretty easily. Or you could actually drag it over into ChatGPT and tell it to edit it and fix the typos. But it's getting better and better. This used to be a year ago, this is a major problem, but it's pretty tight right now on a lot of stuff. If you have that problem, that's how you do it. So make sure you've screenshotted this one, and then we'll go on to oh, actually, you know what? You need the extra super agent. I told you I was going to give you that. So here's the link. So screenshot this to get Jay's super agent prompt. That's going to do all this for you. And it's going to make all these 40 variations and read the pain points. He's got it coded so it knows exactly what to do. So you want to just go to jgptpro.com/amazon-images-super-prompt.html. Sorry, I don't have a QR code on this one, but that's the prompt. It's free. And so that's what you'll use in this last one. Tony, I saw you just raised your hand, but we'll do some questions at the end. Let me just double check here, make sure there's no like crisis going on. People can't hear me or something. All right, nope, we're all good. Okay. Here's number 4. This is, oops, make your website AI crawlable in one click. So all the LLMs like Perplexity and ChatGPT and Alexa, and Sparky on Walmart, and they crawl LLMs.txt files. Now they don't necessarily use those. Google says the LLMs.txt is not heavily used, but it's still there. It's still good to have. Schema is super important, and FAQ files are super important. But almost no Amazon brand has them. You can't put these on your Amazon page. You have to put these on either landing pages or on your Shopify page or on your outside of Amazon stuff. Leo Scovio has a GPT that generates all this stuff from a single ASIN for you. I know just yesterday in the BDSC, Alfonso was saying, hey, he doesn't have his own website, but he's going to create some landing pages. He's going to use either Claude or one of the vibe coding tools to create just some basic landing pages. And you can do this really cheaply now. And he's going to host them. He's not going to have a full website, but landing pages with just a single product on it. And he's going to optimize them for AEO. And then the buttons on those pages are going to link back to Amazon. So he'll still get his Amazon sales, but he's setting up these landing pages. There's tools like Unbounce and stuff that do this. Those of you that are BDSC members, you can get the full rundown of how this works if you watch yesterday's replay. But Leo has something that actually generates this, and this is something that Alfonso was asking yesterday. So what you want to do is scan this QR code. So you get Leo's GEO bundle builder for e-commerce products. It's a custom GPT that you'll use in ChatGPT. And then what you'll do when you run it, you'll paste your Amazon product URL, or if you got a bundle, you can do multiple URLs. You'll paste your if you have a website, you'll paste that as well. So like your Shopify website. If you don't have a Shopify website, you'll need a landing page of some sort because you need to host this outside of Amazon. Then this will create a set of files for you. You'll just download this GPT will create a set of files. You'll just download that. It'll have the index.html, the LLMS text, the product JSON schema. Have all the technical gobbledygook that you need. That's going to optimize this for AI engines. And then you're going to open up your FTP client. I use Fetch on a Mac. Or if you're using Shopify, you'll use the Shopify file uploader, or you can use any other FTP type of program. If you're hosting on HostGator or something, they have a file manager where you upload files. So you're going to just drag these files that this GPT creates into your site root, which the root means right underneath the index. So it's the highest level, not inside another folder. And this will help you fully be optimized for AI engines. They'll start picking up those pages, either your Shopify site or your landing page, and start indexing you. And then those links can either go to your Shopify, they can go to Amazon, they can go wherever you want to send them. And Dragonfish, Norm and I's company, we do this. What we do is we create multiple landing pages for every one of our clients. So they'll have between 5 and 50 different landing pages, and every landing page targets one product and one single pain point. So we don't try to mix, like if it's a magnesium cream, we don't have a page that says this magnesium cream is good for menopausal women that have headaches, and it's also good for runners to put on their ankles because they're sore after doing a run. Those are completely separate uh, uses, and they're on completely separate pages with all the pictures and all the copy and everything geared toward that one use. That's super important. You don't mix things together, which is what happens if you have a Shopify site. You have multiple products mixed all over. So having single target, single purpose landing pages is super powerful for AI. So this is how you do it. So make sure you've screenshot that. This will help you. This ChatGPT will help you quite a bit that Leo's built. All right, number 5. This is how you replace your PDF lead magnet with a brand app. So a lot of people used to give away PDFs, cooking PDFs, recipes, whatever. But people don't really want that as a lead magnet anymore. So what's better now, and this was what Andrew shared, and he actually won BDSS with this, is a brand app. So you can vibe code a brand app, an app. So on your package insert, instead of saying, scan this QR code to go register your warranty or to get on our VIP list or whatever you may be saying now, say, scan this QR code to use our app to find out exactly, if you're selling a dog product, exactly what your dog should be doing or how to train your dog to do this or test your dog's health or whatever it may be. And these are super, super powerful way to actually build your email list and get your customers into your database so you can use them to market to. So the way he does this, make sure you screenshot this, is in Claude or ChatGPT, he puts in this prompt, act as a senior PM, and the rest of that prompt there, and then it has to solve a specific problem in 60 seconds. So you're not making some big old game, you're making a simple little app. And you save that as a prd.md file. MD means markdown. It's basically a text file. It's just clean, and AI likes to use it. PRD is product development. It's just what that stands for. It's nothing special. And then you want to screenshot your home page or use the Go Full page Chrome extension I talked about in a couple prompts back. And you're going to tell it, generate a brand guideline.md from this. So it's the AI is going to look at your homepage and go, oh, they're using a lot of orange and black and this type of font. So it's going to grab all that information and create a simple little style guide. And then you're going to open, he uses Replit. There's tons of tools you can use, but he uses Replit. He drags in that PRD and the brand guidelines and says, build an app per this PRD, which ChatGPT helped you make using these brand guidelines. And so it says in these colors or this style, which matches your homepage. And then whatever it spits out, you refine it in English. You don't have to know any kind of programming geek speak. You just say, hey, make this button yellow instead of blue, or make it round instead of square, or add some confetti when they're finished. Whatever, just type in English. And then you want to say something like gate. You can tell your LLM gate the results behind the email. So if they're doing some sort of test. To test themselves, you don't want to give them the results or their score until they give you their email. So the program will build that and build it so you can capture their email. If you log this to Shopify, you create a new page with an iframe, which means it's nested inside another HTML page pointing to your Replit URL. And that's pretty much it. And the email capture, you just tell it. You can get email capture by saying gate the result behind email if you're using like Replit. And it will actually build it for you. It'll build a little box. It'll do everything. You don't have to know how to code anything. And just make sure that's before the result is revealed. That way you can start building your email list. You don't got to offer a coupon or anything. It's a really powerful way. He's using this for Montessori products, for kids products, and he's crushing with it. It's a really great technique. So check that out from Andrew. Number six, this is the blur test that picks your winning main image. So sellers often try different images and just hope and pray. But the way Kamal does it over at AMZ One Step is he generates 10 to 12 different images, runs them through a search engine um, style testing. He blurs the whole page, and then whichever one still pops at low detail wins the click. So he actually blurs everything out, but you know how the colors kind of shine through, or still, even if everything's blurred, you kind of like that one's kind of, I wonder what that one is because of the colors or the way it just pops on the page. Just by doing that, it will instantly make your listing on a big search page actually pop. So there's tools that do this for you, and it could add a lot of sales. So the way he does it is he generates 12 main image variations, like either with Nano Banana or ChatGPT or Listing Optimization AI, whatever your way you want to do it. And then he arranges them as a 3 by 4 collage. So you could just take Canva or Photoshop and just make some like three across, four down. All 12 of them just makes like a one big picture. So they're like a collage of three across and four down. Um, then then what he does is he runs these through a test like on PickFu. Uh, and he runs it, well, first he does the narrows it down to three finalists. Then he runs a test on PickFu or Product Pinion or listing optimization or any of these other types of things that actually have SERP replicas where it actually mimics the Amazon search. And then he also puts his competitors in there. And then he sees, all right, which one are people actually selecting? Are they selecting mine? Or are they selecting the competitor? And if they're selecting the competitor still, he goes back and modifies his until more people are starting to select his because of the way it pops. And you do this with Gaussian blurs. Gaussian blurs are the thing that actually kind of makes it not readable. It puts that like it's kind of like when you're hiding, a secret password or something. It puts that like a fog over everything. That's a Gaussian blur, and you can do that in Canva. Or you can do that in Photoshop. But there's tools that do that too. I use a tool called Sketch that does that. So you can do any of that. And so and then you're going to test these over and over until you narrow down the one that pops and you get your winner or top two or three. And then you go and you run an A/B test in live manager experiments, a real test where people are buying on Amazon. And you should be able to, by doing this process, you should be able to raise your conversion rates and raise your sales and raise your clicks across everything. So make sure you've screenshotted this hack number 6. And we'll go on to hack number 7. Hack number 7, this is a 40 cent per second VO3 product video. So this is from Brett Bohannon. Brett says that he can create videos for under $2.40 that are just converting really, really, really good for sponsored brand videos. And the way he does it is he takes just a plain, simple white background Amazon image, his main image, and he goes to Gemini and he says, writes this prompt, write a VO3.1 prompt for a 6-second hero, blah, 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 gives it the tech specs and everything. And then he uses that same AI studio we talked about earlier that you get $300 in free credits for when you sign up. He goes to VO Studio, product shot, upload anchor image, which is going to be your main image that you pulled in step one, number 1. And then it's going to create a video off of that. It's going to create like a little 6-second video. You download that, and then you can take it to Canva or any other video editor, and you add a 2-second intro. Just like a wide shot of your product in deep space is what he uses at 8K. And then he puts his logo at the end, at the very end as an outro. And then you upload that to Amazon as a sponsored brand video. And he's like, the total cost with credits and everything is less than $2.40. Takes about 30 minutes to run and converts really, really well. And so that's an easy way to knock out some videos. There's tons of other tools that will do this, but this is a simple, easy way to knock out some videos for your sponsored brand videos. Number 8, this is how you get backlinks from Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. This is from Matt Altman. Matt uses the podcast platforms to generate high quality backlinks. SEO still matters. Even in a world of AO, SEO is still, it's mattering less and less, but it still actually matters. So what they do is his team builds podcasts. They make basically podcasts from scientific papers. And they use Notebook LM to do it. And then what they do is then upload these all to Spotify, Apple, and Google and as podcast, and it creates these massively powerful backlinks in about 2 to 3 weeks. Takes maybe 20 minutes for a VA per podcast to do this. So the way they do it is they use PubMed. These are like scientific papers. It's public information. You can go just Google PubMed papers or journal articles or stories in your category. So just go find some good story or good study or something in your category and then go to Notebook LM, use the free version, create a new notebook, upload all that data that you just found, and then click Generate Audio Overview, and make sure the deep dive is set on, and it's going to create a 10-minute two-host podcast on the spot discussing that paper, which is really, really cool. So once it's done that, you download the MP3, and then the show notes, when you submit it to all these different podcast platforms, which is free to do, you add your Amazon link or your link to your website as a more info link. You do this 20 to 30 times with different source papers. You've got a huge podcasting set of podcasts, and within a couple of weeks, you'll be backlinked, which will give you a lot of authority. AI likes this stuff too. It'll start picking that stuff up. And whatever was discussed in the podcast, your product will become an authority on, and you can actually start ranking in AI answers. Another option is you want to take this further is you could create long form videos, much longer, and then just cut those up and use those on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Meta Reels as well. This is a really cool little tactic to get backlinks and AEO credibility that Matt Altman shared. So those are 8 hacks. So that's the first set of 3. So hopefully you like this and this is good so far. Make sure you screenshotted this one. We're going to have 16 more hacks are coming. But before we do that, first I want to actually share something with you about Market Masters. So Market Masters is my event that I do once a year in Austin. It's my favorite event that I do. It's not a conference with PowerPoint presentations and that kind of thing. It's where we work on people's businesses. So you can either come and have your business worked on, and it's life-changing for the people that do that actually listen and actually implement. Or if you're not comfortable doing that, you can come and you can watch the other ones having their lives changed, and you get a lot of notes out of that. You get a lot of value, and then you see different people discussing different things, and you can approach them during lunch or during the afternoon, or say, hey, you talked about this on a hot seat. I'd love to pick your brain for my business about this, even though you weren't on a hot seat. It's happening August 20th to the 24th in Austin. It's less than 100 people, so it's a small event. We do it in a big 18,000 square foot mansion called the Gatsby Mansion. It's all decorated like the Gatsby. Like I said, there's no keynotes, there's no PowerPoints. It's just you and your business, a massive networking, and our goal is to transform you within a weekend. If you're in a hot seat, you will be transformed if you actually listen and implement. If you're not in a hot seat and just want to be what I call an audience member, you're also going to walk away with massive connections, massive knowledge, things that you can apply directly to your business. Because the problem a lot of times in presentations or normal conferences, a lot of the talks don't apply to you. That's when you see people out in the hallway. Like, that's just doesn't apply to me. This is everything applies to you, and you get to rub elbows with some of the smartest people in the space. The experts that come in, some of them you might know them from Amazon, but I bring in a lot of people from the non-Amazon world. So there's always people there that you're like, I've never heard of this person. They're super smart, but they're not in this little Amazon bubble that we're in, and so you get those connections. The results from the hot seats, Palak came to the first one. She was doing about $1.5 million in the home goods space. She implemented what people told her. She went to about 5 million in last year. This year she's on track to do 20 million. And I asked her what happened. Did you win the lottery? Did Oprah Winfrey feature? She's like, no, I just did what y'all said. So she is crushing it based on what she learned and at Market Masters. You also have someone like Julie. Julie was at -8% profit, -8% CM3. And during her panel with the experts, she kind of fought back a little bit. She pushed back. They were telling her, you need to do this, quit doing this, you're stupid for doing this. Literally, that's what they said. And she said, I don't think so. I don't think you guys know what you're talking about. And then she went and thought about it. And she's like, you know what? Maybe they do know what they're talking about. And she actually implemented it. And she reversed her from going basically out of business to now 24% profit. And so she's someone that had great success. You have someone like Kate Bray, who has a very unique product for women that have menstrual cramps and menstrual pain. And she's been redone her packaging, been introduced to Kevin Leary, a whole bunch of good stuff has come for her out of it. And you have True CMOS. These guys, like 2020, were doing like a $2 million or something. Now they're on track to do 200 million. When they came to Market Masters, they're doing about 110 million. We're growing like crazy, and they're like, we need help. You know, we're hiring people. What should we do next? And so we gave them a bunch of ideas. They implemented some of them, and they've almost doubled their sales in a year. So they're crushing it. So it's just one after another like this. It's a really, really cool event. And then on top of these hot seats, last year we added a new thing that people love. We had workshops. So you bring your laptop, and we had people like doing workshops how to vibe code. We had people doing workshops on like how to get your all your AI stuff done. So they teach you in like a 90-minute workshop, and then if you have more questions, you go and talk to them, you know, upstairs by the kitchen or by the bar, and like, hey, can you help me out? I'm confused on this little step here. What do I need to do? And they sit down, like Leo was sitting down and helping people till like midnight one night. So we do 7 of these this time. We're doing them on AI, on getting press, on a whole bunch of different cool stuff. So you get access to all those. I'm going to show you this quick little video real quick, just to give you a good idea.
This weekend we are at Market Masters 3. It's one of my favorite events that Kevin King throws. It's so genuine. It is a bunch of people that have amazing minds, great businesses, loads of experience, all coming together with their guards down, with hearts open and just ready to help you.
Market Masters this weekend has been fantastic. The content's been amazing. The hot seats have been amazing. The food's been amazing. The conversations and the people have been amazing. If you're not here, you should be. Everybody spends a lot of time together. We're all in the same room pretty much from sun up till sundown, all talking business, talking ideas, different flows, different concepts, and it's free-flowing thought. One of the unique things here is the hot seat or the expert panel, which I also had the privilege to be a part of. You have a council of experts that are sitting there, all from different backgrounds, different spaces on the internet, different places where they play, giving insights and feedback to the person that's running that business, trying to help them to attain their goals and leave there with actionable information. So the first hour is usually a bunch of questions, only questions from the experts directly to the person who's running the business. And then the second half is people giving advice, insights, different strategies, different methodologies that can be cooked into their business.
I also love that Kevin's very picky about the experts that he puts around the person, and he doesn't just put like a bunch of people that are like, oh yeah, that we've been selling on Amazon for a super long time and we're going to give you some advice. He picked people that specialize in a very specific thing so that you didn't get the same advice from everybody, that you got very specific and actionable advice from a person because they're so good at that one thing that would be able to help your business.
The experts that he brings in are people from branding, marketing, fulfillment, off Amazon traffic, TikTok, operations. He knows people that are very, very good at each of those, and he gets them together to help someone with their entire business. It's not as simple as a one-note song. It really is almost like a symphony of people helping make things go better for a business.
I really got to go under the hood. And what I loved about the process is it wasn't just myself, but I was joined by 10 fellow experts who all have expertise and experiences in different areas of the business.
Kevin does an amazing job. He's always bringing together the best of the best, and having all these experts in a room doing these hot seats where people can really get it for real. Like, one of the things I loved about this Market Masters was just watching how people wanted the raw truth, and that's what they got.
It's just insane that Kevin invited all these people here. All of them are super, super important and powerful and smart and experts in the industry. These are the top thought leaders in the industry, and just to be able to hang out with them, spend time with them, eat dinners with them in this beautiful house in Austin, it's unbeatable, the amount that I've learned so far.
It's like being in a house with some of your closest friends who are very supportive of you and truly want you to succeed. You attend workshops, you sit on people's hot seats, you having conversations over cocktails, you're having breakfast, lunch, dinner. There is no rush. You're relaxed, you're surrounded by people who I like to believe genuinely want you to succeed.
People that don't attend this are missing
everything. They're missing the networking. They're missing just being able to be around great minds. And they're also missing a moment that you get to have fun.
So the next Market Master is happening August 20th to the 24th at the Gatsby Mansion. That's a picture of it there. It's got a helicopter pad and everything. Pickleball courts. It's just a crazy indoor game room and cigar lounge. It's just a crazy place. Awesome location. You need to be there because there's going to be over 30 of the world's top experts, like they said, from a range of categories. There's going to be awesome hot seats, awesome lunches include all the meals are included, lunch, dinner, breakfast, drinks are included. Only thing that's not included is hotel and airfare. There's two ways to come. One is there's 3 hot seats, like 6 of the 9 are taken right now. So if you want to get on one of the hot seats and have your business worked on, you have the option of making it closed, which means that it's just you and the experts and nobody can watch. Or you can have the option of making it open, which most people do. But some people do want it to be closed. I think 1 out of the 6 so far is closed and the other 5 are open because you learn a lot by watching the other ones. And so if you just want to do that, you hit the right button, which says get an audience seat. So either you claim one of the last 3 hot seats, or you just come as an audience seat. And that's just like a regular ticket to come and you get to participate in everything. You just don't sit in the hot seat, but you get to watch all the others and do all the workshops and all the other events. I'm doing something for those of you on this webinar at 50% off. This is good only until this weekend. So the code 24hacks, if you go to marketmasters4.com, I've never done this before. Sometimes I give $1,000 off, but just for the people that are on this webinar, because you're going to spend a couple hours probably with me today going through this, I want to give you a benefit to take this to the next level. And so you can have 50% off either one of those tickets with code 24hacks. It's first come, first serve. I only have about 22 spots left on the audience, and there's just 3 on the hot seat. So it's first come, first serve. So just note that hack. And at the end of this, you can go to Market Masters 4 and choose which of those 2 options you might want to do and join us. Now, remember, someone on here is going to win a free ticket, an audience ticket. So you could hold off and see if you win that. And then at the end, make sure you have this code down so that you can do that. All right. Next, we're going to go through the next set of hacks. So these are from Nashville, and I'm going to go through these quick because we have a special guest that has a time limit that he's got to be out of here at 15 past the hour. So I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker so he can share something cool with you guys as well on what he's found studying Alexa shopping. So this is a 30-second meta setting that stops you from paying for existing customers. So if you're running ads on Facebook or on Meta, sometimes you can actually be paying for a lot of traffic and clicks that are already existing customers. This is how you can actually make sure that you're not paying for your existing customers. So you go to businessfacebook.com to menu, to ads manager, advertising settings. You set up an engaged audience and you create your own custom audience. And you set the retention to 180 days, and you do this so that way you're actually not retargeting the people that are already in your audience that have already bought. So you're eliminating them. And so you also take your existing customers, create an audience, and upload that list, a CSV of all your paying customers, and then you upload 2 more lists: your high value ones, which are your repeat buyers, and your low value, but people that have never really bought anything in the last year and a half. And then you add a value rule of pay up to 200% more for high value, 50% less for low value. And then what Meta does is it optimizes the auction prices in your favor instead of just guessing. It's a super powerful way if you're using any kind of Facebook stuff to really hone in the right audience and save you a lot of money in ad spend. All right, number 10, this is the SQP filter that finds a product idea in 10 minutes. So this one uses Amazon's brand analytics plus SQP data to find keywords where shoppers click, but the conversion is broken. So this is where demand exists, but nobody has the right product. So you're stepping into a gap. Bradley Sutton is the one who revealed this, and he found a coffin. Most of you know he does the coffin shelves and stuff like that, but he found a coffin makeup shelf was an option. And so he actually, another seller that he showed this to found meat resting blanket that's now doing $600,000 a month just by this method. So here's the method. Make sure you screenshot it. So you open Helium 10 Cerebro or Amazon's Product Explorer, which is free and Seller Central if you don't have Helium 10, and you apply these filters. The search volume is greater than 5,000, click share is greater than 50%, and conversion rate less than 10%, and title density less than 5. And then the top 10 products, you want to see at least 5 of them have less than 150 reviews and less than $5,000 a month. That proves that they're weak competitors. And then you put in the ChatGPT the prompt that he's got there, or you can use Helium 10 is rolling out an MCP right now. I think it's only for elite members right now, but they're going to be rolling out an MCP where you can do all this from Claude. You don't have to go into Helium 10 and set all, as long as you have access to Helium 10, you don't have to go in there and set up all this stuff. You can just tell the MCP to do all this, and it'll do it for you. And you might want to cross-check Etsy and Pinterest as well, because that can sometimes give you some verification. And then once you find this, you source that product, and you'll index within a week, he says. And like he said, that one product's doing 600K a month now by using this method. So make sure you screenshot that and review that as a way to actually find your next winning product. This is how you get, number 11, this is how you get an article cited by every LLM in 24 hours. So Norm Farrar, he owns a press release company, and does some stuff with me on AEO, but he took a dead article ranking nowhere and got it indexed across every LLM within 24 hours, sometimes within a couple hours. Press releases are still high authority when it comes to AI. So they're the fastest white hat backlink method. Press release is not going to get you a lot of sales. It's not like issue this press release and everybody's going to see your link in the press release and come running to your store. Don't expect that. But they're really, really good for helping train the AI and get you gas on what you're trying to do for AI for organic stuff. They can be super powerful. So the way you do that is the first 60 words, some people say the first 70, are super important, and they only address a single topic answer, because a lot of times AI doesn't read the middle of stuff unless you specifically tell it to. It reads the beginning and the end and skips the middle. And so if you put a bunch of stuff in the middle of a page or of your content, a lot of that times that gets skipped. Then you want to add an FAQ section at the bottom of your content of it. That's where it grabs the citations. You're going to take all the BS stuff out, all the superbly, we're the best at, we're the greatest, this is nothing ever like it before. Take all those kinds of BS claims with stuff that says like studied by, or we've discovered, tested this with 82 people and found a 90% reduction. LLMs reject unsupported claims. And then you want to push the article via PR distribution service like pressreleaseai.com or EIN or Newswire. Costs about $200 to $400. There are more expensive ones that do work even better, but you don't have to do the expensive ones. And you could actually even reach out to Norm if that's something that you want him to help you with. His email address is on there. And then you syndicate this. That's a key, is you don't just put the press release out and let it do its thing. You actually then syndicate it so it goes out all over the place. It goes into Medium, to Claude Artifacts, into Public Grot, and it gets syndicated. It's kind of like syndicating a TV show, old episodes of Cheers across different local TV stations once it's off the air and repeats. It gets it out there even further. And then you submit it to Google Search Console. This is free to do. So you take your URL to the press release and you go to Google Search Console and you submit it there. And that way it forces the indexing. That's the same thing you should do if you create that earlier tip where you create landing pages. You want to do that too. So those get forced indexed, because anything that's indexed in Google or Bing is going to get picked up by LLMs. The LLMs monitor Google and Bing for new stuff. And they do their own spidering and scrolling, but they also monitor those. So that's how you can rank really, really fast. Number 12, this is sponsored brand video combo nobody's running. Chris Rawlings spends about $5 million a month on Amazon ads, and he says that sponsored brand video targeting is one of the best things that they're doing right now. Most people don't realize that the first video frame, so the first frame of the video turns into the thumbnail. So if you optimize that, it makes it the thumbnail. If you just let that be random, it's not going to help you. But if you optimize what that first frame is, so right when the video starts, that very first thing you see, that becomes the thumbnail, and it can really make a difference. The way he does this is creates a new sponsor brand video campaign in Ads Console. He sets the targeting type to product targeting, pastes in 20 to 50 of his competitors' ASINs that are ranking for your big keywords. He picks the videos where the first frame sells the product on its own. So he looks at their products and says, which one of these is the first frame? If I don't even watch the video, if I just see this first frame, this thumbnail, that does that help me actually want to click? And then he runs 3 to 5 different videos as A/B variations against that. And then he adds the audience bid modifier, and then he ratchets that up. And that's a really, really great way to actually put some gas on your sponsored brand videos that hardly anybody is doing. All right, number 13. This is how you borrow a 1P vendor account for a negative cash cycle. So this is from John Durkitz. He shared this on stage. He said that a lot of people are just selling 3P, but he used this technique on the vendor side for $600,000 more profit in 6 months, and drastically helped his cash flow conversion cycle as well. Because John says that Amazon pays him 15 days before he pays his supplier using this technique. And a lot of sellers don't know you can be 1P without owning a vendor account. So you can actually sell through 1P without actually being an authorized vendor and going through that whole process to get set up. And this is how you do it. According to John, if you run the math, if you're 3P CM3 is your bottom line profit, is single digits, and working capital is eating into your profit, you're paying a lot of interest, and you're a good candidate to try this method. So he says, find a vendor account holder. So it's an established 1P seller in an adjacent category that's willing to be a pass-through. Sometimes it can be a buddy, sometimes in one of your groups or masterminds. And he says, structure the deal. Amazon POs go to the vendor account. The vendor pays you, and then you ship direct to Amazon under their PO. So you get 1P pricing power, and you don't have to have a vendor central application. And then the same time you do this, you're going to apply for an asset-backed revolving line of credit. Companies like eCapital do it. And you tie that to your inventory and your receivables. So it's interest only, monthly, and no principal repayment until you choose. And then you can renegotiate your payment terms with your supplier now that Amazon pays you faster. And every 5 days you stretch your payables and you stretch your cash conversion cycle. It's a very technical financial way to actually dramatically improve your cash flow. And that's from John. All right, number 14, this is how you get a free custom GPT that spits out a differentiated product. This is from Andrew Erickson. They shared in Nashville. He's had 2 exits, so he knows a thing or two about what he's doing. He built a GPT that ingests helium-10 data and outputs 3 different products using a rule he calls the 80% match, 20% twist. And this skips you having to do all this kind of manual analysis and gets you honed in on a product that could be good for you really right away. He did this with a wooden wall-mounted dog bowl for this exact flow. So what he does, the QR code is up at the top to download this GPT, so make sure you scan that or screenshot this so you have it for later. The Helium-10 X-Ray or Jungle Scout or Atlas or whatever you use, export the top 30 products for 3 to 4 word search terms. So like scented candles, men, if that's your product. Open up his GPT and upload the CSV for what you just downloaded, and then tell it to generate 10 product ideas that are 80% aligned with the top features and 20% differentiated. Identify the dominant ones, and then twist one variable. Then he says, take those top 3 ideas it spits out, this GPT spits out to Nano Banana, and generate 30 to 40 product images with packaging variations. And you could use one of the other earlier tips to do this too. And then run the images through PickView, Product Opinion, or Optimize Hero, which are all very similar testing tools for human votes and comments. And then you give those comments that the people put back and the results back into Nano Banana. And maybe they say that it should be more pink packaging, or it'd be better if it's a female model, or I like the price. Whatever it says in the comments, you find the trend and you put that back and you regenerate. And boom, you have a product that's going to outperform the losers by 10x, and it's going to probably do very, very well. It's a really cool method of actually honing in and getting some new product ideas. So make sure you screenshot that. Make sure you have that QR code. And we'll go on to hack number 15. Hack number 15, this is the label hack that's added 70% sales in 2 weeks. So this is when you can add a label to the product. Even if no label doesn't really exist, you can still add a label that makes it look, and you can put words and stuff on that label. And you can jump your click share from, like in this example, 9%, a little over 9% to 17%. Get tons of extra sales, thousands of dollars of extra sales. And Kamal says that Dude Wipes, Angry Orange, Gorilla Grip, all the big brands are doing this. and so should you. So what he says is take your current main image, use ChatGPT or your designer, whatever you want, to overlay a label or sticker on the product. So this is not something that's actually there when it ships, but you overlay like a tag, a hang tag, or a label or something that it looks like it's on the product. And the label says something of one of these two things. It's either your top volume keyword, so whatever your top volume keyword is, so that reinforces the message of what they just searched for, or your single biggest USP, or some sort of quantity indicator, that shows that this is 227 pieces or something like that. Create three different variations of it. One that's totally safe by Amazon's rules, one that's a little bit risky, and one that's like you're pushing the boundaries of what you can get away with. Upload all of them to one of the testing tools like Product Opinion or PickFood. Run a 100-vote test uh, along with 4 competitors' images side by side. He's saying use the SERP simulator, and then take the winner to Amazon Manager Experiments. Do an A/B test for 2 weeks, and then isolate if something loses, and run with the ones that win. And he says, watch what happens with your sales and conversions. It can be a really good technique. Number 16, this is how you capture creator emails before they ghost you. Josh and Becca at Hadley Designs, they do 250 at the time of this. They're doing more now, but doing 250 grand a month in GMV on TikTok Shop. And they say the single thing that made it work is they pulled the creator's phone and email and shipping off of TikTok DMs and onto an email list, so they stopped ghosting them. And this is all above board. So the way they do it is they auto send the moment you approve a creator sample. So when a sample is approved through TikTok, then they auto send a message to them. You've been selected for a boosted ads opportunity. Please fill in this form to qualify, because all the TikTokers want you to put ads behind them. So then this form collects all their information and asks them, are you excited to post about our products? Yes, no. When they hit yes, of course, they're all going to hit yes. The next thing gives them a usage rights agreement and says that 95% of them actually click yes, we have the rights to use this. Now you can run their videos on Meta, on YouTube, on other places legally. So they're getting this right away when in the moment when they're most happiest and most excited, not waiting until they've made the video and then going back to them and trying to get the rights. And the person knows they just created a badass video and they're going to negotiate differently, doing it right up front. And then they drop all this data, the emails and everything, into Beehive, which is the same tool I use for my newsletter. And they send out a drip sequence of emails to them. You can read that, what it says there, to get them engaged. And then they identify the 7 creators who post but don't go viral, and they put a small ad budget behind their videos to jump them from a couple hundred views to 5,000. They get a little dopamine hit, and so they're like, oh, it actually worked. Let me post some more. I want to do some more because I was kind of disappointed. So they do this, and then every Wednesday at 8:15 they host a live call with their creators. The creators that can come on to the Zoom call or the live call, they coach them. They do the same kind of stuff, and this is how you get people to go from just a basic creator into an evangelist, into someone spouting praise about your product. It's a really good technique that's helped them hit that $250,000 mark and above on TikTok Shop. All right, that's 16 hacks. I've still got 8 more coming, but I have a special guest that's only got a few minutes to come on. He's going to share some stuff with you. Christian Umbach has studied 70,000 ASINs especially around Alexa for shopping. He's discovered a few things, some results that may shock you. So Christian, if you're here, there you are.
Hey, Kevin.
I see you. Hey, how you doing, man? I'll go ahead and
Very
stop
well.
sharing so you can share your screen. And I'll let you, I know you've only got a few minutes. I'll let you
Awesome.
show what you've got.
Feels like I'm joining right for the Super Bowl ad break here. Appreciate you.
It's a World Cup. It's the water break.
Exactly, hydration break. But don't run away from your screen. All right, let's get right into it. In May this year, end of May, the shift from Rufus to Alexa was announced. Rufus itself was came out or was announced in February 2024, already almost 2.5 years ago. Feels like a long time. And There's been a lot of studies on Rufus, and so far we felt it's the right time to conduct a large-scale study on Alexa for shopping, really with the core focus of understanding like how does Alexa approach product recommendations, and is it the same as organic kind of organic ranking? Is it different to that? How is advertising influencing that? So those were kind of the guiding questions for us. And overall, we're framing this as the third shelf because we're indeed seeing differences to the two existing shelves, which is your pure organic search and paid ads. The way we approach this, and we'll jump right into that, is we took close to 2,000 queries and basically ran those different queries, like both as I can show you an example here, kind of as a core search term, I would say the traditional way, and then also asked Alexa, what are the best, in this case, this is for a stain remover, what are the best stain removers, and then captured all of the different recommendations that Alexa would give us here versus we captured the search result pages on the results that we were getting here. So we did that about 2,000 times on non-branded queries. We also did that on branded queries, but the study here specifically focuses on the non-branded side. And with that, basically got data from about 70,000 unique products, close to 110,000 actual listings that get captured, and about 13,000 Alexa recommendations. And then we had this as a data set and could start finding out like what are some of the trends that we're seeing. One of the core trends for us that we were detecting was that a lot of the AI picks actually fall outside of the organic top 10. So learning from that, Alexa Shopping's recommendations are not a mere reflection of organic search results, but you can actually see on the contrary that quite a large percentage of results there as well are not even visible on the first on the search page at all. So it's diversifying search, and just because you're winning in organic rank does not, I would say, guarantee you a ticket into Alexa today. Then we looked at it from an advertising point of view. So in terms of the sponsored tiles on the full page for traditional search, they covered about 20% here of the results. For Alexa, this was fewer. So only 14% of the Alexa results were also sponsored results on the detail page. And only 2% of results were basically advertised products within, or were indicated as advertised products within Alexa that did not show up as a product at all on the results page. So our takeaway from that was basically that that's called ad influence of the results on Alexa today is lower. We'll see how that evolves in the future, but that's sort of the organic influence side has a higher influence. Now, the next thing we looked at is, okay, like for those overarching numbers, how does this look like across the different results? Because you can obviously, you can see this, I just ran this one here for stain remover. This looks like it's this one here. So it's kind of the number one, and it's sponsored and all in there. But then as you scroll further down, we started looking at how does the second, third, fourth, fifth result relate to whether this now ranks organically in the top 10. And you can see this graph then dropping off quite quickly here, such that the first ones are still very much a reflection of what also from an organic perspective gets ranked, gets shown, but then you see it diversifies over time. Then the next angle that we took was, okay, how does this look across categories? Other here is kind of a mix of different smaller categories, but I would say the core categories here that we dissected were apparel, home and kitchen, beauty, and health and supplements, where specifically on the apparel side, what we found here was that it's kind of going for most diversity in terms of results on the terms that we're looking at, versus in other categories it's more closely aligned to kind of being a bit narrower to the actual ranking results. So what did we learn from that, or what did we take from that? Is that as we see the data today, the diversification around products is something that Alexa promotes, which I would say is great for everyone. That's not only the top 10 organic spot or one of the top paid spots today, and in terms just kind of the underlying fabric, the underlying foundation for the listings. There's whole webinars created on that, but it's basically the combination of having shopper intent in the products, having unique selling points in there, optimizing for seasons. Like now, is it great for the summer holiday, for back to school? Great gifting item for the fall, and then continuously refreshing and updating that content. And that's our core focus at Autopilot as well, where we take these learnings from research like this and then put it back into kind of a done-for-you listing optimization experience. We'll keep you posted as we do more of these studies. I'm sure Alexa for shopping will evolve its behavior. We're all going to keep learning. Now, item highlights and short titles are coming out, which is very much playing to Alexa as well. So we'll keep the community here updated on new findings.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Christian. Appreciate you sharing that information with us. Thanks for stepping in today. Awesome. All right, let me share my screen and we'll continue on. Share here. There we go. All right. We've got 8 more hacks coming your way right now. After that, what do they call that? Hydration break in the World Cup. If you're watching the World Cup, we had a little hydration break so I could hydrate. Cool. Thanks, Christian. So here's 8 more hacks. These are coming from inside the $1 Billion Sellers Club. So if you're a member in the club, you might have seen a couple of these. Maybe you forgot about some of them. Maybe you missed them. If you're not a member, you're going to get a sneak peek into some of the stuff that you could actually learn inside the $1 Billion Sellers Club. So this is Amazon's 7-second AI video. It beats pro footage. So you could go out and you could create pro footage, but if you just use Amazon's little AI video generator, according to Chris Rawlings, it actually in most cases beats anything that you're going to try to do outside of Amazon. So the way he says that you should actually do this is go to Seller Central, Campaign Manager, Create Campaign, Sponsored Brands video format, and the Creative Builder, click Creative Video with AI, so it'll pull from all your existing stuff that Amazon already has on file for you. You could pick a keyword cluster that you already rank well for in sponsored products. For example, if it's a travel product, your travel use case keywords. Don't reuse a broad list. Be as specific as you can here. And then you're going to tailor the 7-second text overlay to the exact intent. So remember, it puts text there for people that have their sound off. It puts text on the screen. So you're going to make sure that actually is overlay. It's not just random text, or it actually goes to the intent of the customer. So fits any carry-on would be an intent. So of the customer, or something, the benefit that they're getting from it, not a feature, but actually a benefit that they're getting from it. And then you're going to duplicate for 2 more clusters, each with its own custom AI video. You're going to launch all 3 of these videos at the same time. And after 14 days, you're going to scale the one that has the lowest ACost and kill the rest. This technique is super powerful. And you don't have to go out to Nano Banana or VO3 or anything. Just do it all within Amazon. and see what happens. So make sure you screenshot that those step by step so you have that for yourself or for your team. And then we'll go to hack number 18. This is how you pull sponsored product video hooks straight from Product Opportunity Explorer. So if you're ever trying to get the hook, is super important. The hook in the first 3 seconds of a video, first 2 seconds, I'm saying, is super, super important. So now, since you can stack videos on 3 to 5 videos on every ASIN, you can have each one have its own hook. Remember what I said earlier about the landing pages? And each one is geared towards a specific use case. I gave you the example of magnesium, and one's for the legs, and one's for the menopausal women, headaches and pains. You can do the same thing here. And so Manzor actually said, hey, just use Product Opportunity Explorer to do this because, and make sure the first frame matches the customer's objection. He says you see immediate click-through rate increases immediately by doing this. Here's the steps. So he says go to Seller Central, Brand Analytics, Product Opportunity Explorer, search for your top keyword niche. You click into the niche, look at the customer review insights, and sort by the top pain points on the review insights. And then pick the top 3 pain points that you feel are most appropriate for the product. Open up Google Flow, which is it's a free tool. You can pay to do some stuff there, but you can use some of it for free. Labs.google/flow. Upload your hero image, which is your main product image, is frame 1. A demo image is frame 2, and then you put the prompt transitions from image 1 to 2, showing the pain involved, showing the pain point is solved. So you show basically it's a before and after. And then your video campaign, you upload all 3. You name each one based on the pain point it solves, and then let them rotate. And then he says, the same thing, let it rotate for about 14 days. At the end, cut the worst ones. That's another great tip right there that can immediately make an impact on your sales. Make sure you've screenshotted that one, and then I'll go on to number 19. Number 19 coming up. Number 19, this is the dormant AMC audience that wakes up on sale days. So this is from Abe Jamali. Abe says that you can build an AMC audience of people who only buy your category when a coupon or lightning deal is live. So these are people that only buy, let's say you're selling, I don't know, dog treats. And the only time that these people buy dog treats is when there's a lightning deal or when there's a Prime Day deal or something. They never buy throughout the rest of the year. They always buy during those times. And he said if you activate this audience the morning of a deal, you are spending on customers who are most likely to actually buy your product. It's a really cool strategy to hone in on the people who are really looking for the deals. So the way he says to set this up is you go to Seller Central and you go through that whole process to get to Amazon Marketing Cloud. Then you go to Audience Builders and you say you want to generate SQL with AI prompt that says, build an audience of shoppers who purchased in my category only when a discount badge, a coupon, or a lightning deal was active in the last 12 months. Save that audience. So it's just going to sit there and you're not going to use it except when there's deals happening. So it just ignores it. It's just going to sit there. But Amazon will update it. They'll keep it fresh. So it's not going to go stale. They're going to keep it fresh. And then the next time you have a lightning deal or a coupon deal or a deal of the day, or it's Prime Day, or it's Black Friday, or it's one of these big sale days, you're going to activate that list with an audience with a 50% bid modifier. And then as soon as the deal is over or that deal day is over, deactivate the audience. Don't target to them anymore. And then he says, compare your conversion rate during the promo window versus your default audience, and you'll see a huge delta. This is a really, really good strategy for any kind of Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or any kind of when you're running your own deals. So do this, and you'll get the people that only buy when there's deals, and you'll be targeting them at the right moment because they're actually actively looking. This is pretty cool little technique. Number 20, this is a 60-second schema fix that gets you cited by ChatGPT. This is from Qasim Islam, probably the #1 expert when it comes to AEO out there. He's not from the Amazon world. Super, super smart guy. But he studied tens of thousands of pages and how AI works, and he really honed in on the process, and he's got it nailed down. And he says that the way you do your schema markup is so important that almost nothing else matters. So right now it's super easy to do the schema and get listed by the AI. It's kind of like Google was 12 years ago. It's easy to kind of game the system. And now you can do that. So he says what you need to do is go to schema.org, it's a free site, /validator, paste in whatever your home page is, your Shopify page, your landing page, not your Amazon page. This doesn't matter for Amazon, but any other page that you control. And it's going to come back and it's going to give you a report. And it's going to say, hey, this schema is not valid, or it's missing this, or you don't have it at all. And then you're going to go into ChatGPT and you're going to say, generate a complete JSON LD schema for, you're going to put your product or brand name in the brackets that are where the brackets are, the page, and give it the URL. It'll include organization, product, FAQ page, and review schema. Return only the script for the header. And it will do it all for you. You don't have to have a technical guy do this. You don't have to pay someone to do this. It'll do what you need for you. And then you're going to go and paste that script into your header tags. If you don't know how to do that, the header tags are the tags on HTML. They're at the very top. They don't make anything show up on the screen. It's just kind of like the background data. You're going to paste it in there. If you don't know how to do that, you can find someone on Upwork or Fiverr. They'll do it for $5 probably. And then you're going to paste that in there. Or if you're on Shopify, you're going to go to online store, themes, edit code, and paste it in the theme.liquid. Or if you're in WordPress, you're going to go to insert headers and footers plugin, and you plug that in. Then once you've plugged it in and saved it, run that validator again, the schema.org validator, make sure everything is green. And then just repeat this process on your top products and your top pages. If you really want to get good at that, you can add an audio version of your top FAQ. This voice schema, this is not recorded audio, this is an audio schema. So voice schema is now weighted for 55%. It is now heavily used by like the younger generation. So they're using voice search on like Alexa Plus or ChatGPT voice. This helps with that if you have a voice schema on there of your top FAQ questions. It'll help that get prioritized for voice. So this is a really powerful way to actually get into the AI engines, basically free. You just follow these steps. So make sure you screenshotted that. Go on to number 21. Number 21 is how you find the Alexa shopping questions your listing doesn't answer. Now, we talked about this a couple times before, but this is here another method because most of you know that Alexa shopping is driving. Last year, it was called Rufus. It drove over $12 billion in incremental sales, according to Amazon. And so this is another way that Joe, who's another top expert in AI, says that you can actually find questions that there's no answers to, and you can fill those gaps. So she used the example like coconut oil for pet skin or something for teeth whitening, and just there's no answer. So if you answer that, you become the default person that's getting traffic. So the way she says to do this is go to ChatGPT. What are the top 20 non-obvious use cases people ask AI shopping assistants about your product category? Non-obvious is the key word there, about your category. And cross-check on Amazon mobile. So you go to Amazon mobile and ask Alexa, what can I use your product for besides the obvious ones? And screenshot every answer. And for each non-obvious use case, check the top 5 listings in your category. And if none of them mention it, that's your gap. And you just need to answer that question. And you're going to be the default in your category for those questions and get the traffic. So she says, add a Q&A in your A+ Premium, answering it directly. Can I use this for my dog's skin? And your answer, yes, and whatever its exact use is. And then you can add the same thing to your customer Q&A section and post the questions from a buyer account, if you're going to do that. And then answer from your brand account within 24 hours, and that'll help you get that extra boost in rank. And then if you want to, you can update the backend search terms with the long tail phrases. For example, coconut oil for pets. So this is a powerful way to actually rank better and be the answer in Alexa shopping. It's another technique besides the other two that are also good. So if you apply all 3 of these that I've shown you in here today, this would be incredible. This is the 4-bank account profit first system for sellers that Pam Jordan talked to us about in BDSC. She said most 7-figure sellers are running on really low profit margins, less than 10%. If you're FBA, you should be at 25 to 30, 20 minimum, but ideally 25 to 30, but most are at less than 10%. So they're missing opportunities to buy inventory, or to restock up, or to expand into other products because they got an Amex bill to pay. So she says that if you use this system, you'll stockpile cash for inventory And you can set this up in one afternoon. And it's similar. It's the profit first for e-commerce strategy. So she says open 3 additional bank accounts. So you're going to have 4 now. Maybe most of you have 1 bank account. I like to use Mercury. Mercury's an online account, and it's really, really good. But open 3 additional checking accounts at your bank. Name one of them OPEX, one of them profit and tax, and one of them inventory fund. And then keep your current account, whatever you're using right now, as your income account. That way you don't got to change where your payments are going or anything like that. And then you want to, if you need to, you'll redirect all your Amazon and Shopify deposits to the income account. Hopefully it's the account you already have. It's the main one. You don't have to redirect, but if you do, redirect everything to that income account, and then set up automatic transfers every week. That 50% goes into your OPEX, 15% goes into your profit and tax, and 35% goes into your inventory fund. And then you pay every single bill only from your OPEX account. So you're paying all your bills from the 50%. So you're not touching the other accounts. And that way you have your taxes are set there, your inventory set there, and then quarterly take 50% of the profit and tax as an owner distribution to your personal account. So that's you pull out distribution to yourself and leave the other 50% for taxes. And then if a bulk pallet discount comes in, you pay that from the inventory fund, never from OPEX. Everything is paid on inventory from the inventory fund. If you do this kind of behavior and lock this in, it's tough at first and it's going to be painful for the first few months while you're making the switch. But in the long haul, your business will be a lot more sound, a lot more sellable, and a lot less stressful. And you'll be able to take advantage of things, or sometimes you'll have to turn opportunities down because you're not ready for it. And then that way you're not overextending yourself or getting into trouble. So it's a really good tactic of profit first. Number 23, this is untapped angle method. So if you're fighting for saturated keywords, stop. Just find a product where the top 10 sellers have no long tail angle in their title, and then you can just own it. So, for example, one seller added was trying to compete on hand sanitizer, and it's just super competitive during COVID. But by going after a long tail, hand sanitizer party favors, because people were giving out those little 3-ounce bottles as party favors if they're hosting a party at their house, put a bucket of them, at the front door. Everybody grab one, carry it around with them for the night. After shaking hands, rub this on your hands. It became hugely profitable, and it was a rising keyword. And so just by adding that to an existing title, it ranked #1 the next week with 0 product development, 0, just by changing that to the title. So the way to do this is you run Helium-10 Cerebral on your main keyword niche, or if you can use brand analytics, if you don't have Helium-10, search query performance. And then you pull every long-term variation has a search volume of 2,000 to 10,000. You're not going after the big heavy-duty terms that have hundreds of thousands. You're going after the niche. And for each one of those search terms, you're going to see how many of them have that search term in their title. So the ones that have 2 to 10,000 search volume, how many of them actually have that in their title? If there's less than 2, then this is your game to play. And you're going to actually add that to your title, and you're going to start crushing it. You can also check Vok.ai's demand to supply ratio for that keyword. And if that's also low, continue on. That's just a double check if you want to do that. And if you're doing a new launch, you can source that variant matches. You can make sure that variant matches the angle. And within 7 days, just do an index check, and you should be at the top or very near the top of the rankings on that. It's a really cool technique. I personally use this myself, and it's worked really, really well. All right, number 24. This is how you build 20 creatives before you touch an affiliate. So this is from Michelle. So 99% of brands chase TikTok affiliates, and they get basically no response rate. It's very, very difficult to get a response rate. Because you don't have conversion. You don't have a track record, a lot of you, on TikTok Shop. And so they're like, I don't want to work with these people. They don't show any kind of record. So what you do is you reverse the order. You pre-build content, then you test in GMV Max, which is TikTok's advertising. Then you approach the affiliates with a winning script. And you get massive number of affiliates in days, not months. So she says the way to do this is to pull Callow data, which is a software tool. There's Yuka and there's several others out there as well, but you pull cattle data or you use Shop Plus, which is TikTok's, you export the top 50 organic videos by GMV. So that's by sales, by gross merchandise volume in your category in the last 30 days. List the 5 most common hooks that they're using and the 5 most common angles, and then shoot or AI generate those 5 hooks and 5 demos. So you can use, this is great use for AI, all featuring your product though, and then upload those as shoppable, all 25 of those videos as shoppable videos. You can do this with AI really fast. In TikTok Seller Central, enable GMV max at $50 a day, split across them. After 7 days, you'll know which of those 25 videos are working, which ones are tanking. You want to look at the 15-second view rate as the metric, not the and the add to cart rate. That's how you'll know what's working, what's not. And then you write a very short little creator brief, not a big long dossier, short little review brief using only the winning hooks. And then you say, if you tell them, if you say this and you show this and you use this call to action, this will work. You send that to 50 niche affiliates with the proof from your little test run. Our ads are using this script convert at whatever percent it is. A lot of them are going to take you up on it. So that you have the proof. And this is how you can sidestep not having true sales yet, or not having true sales in that product they're verifying through TikTok. You can actually create it and create your own demand. So that's really awesome from Michelle. All right, so now you've got 24 hacks. So that was a lot. So you don't need to do all 24 of these. Hopefully you were screenshotting these as we went through those SOPs. Just pick 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, and run them this week. Because there's tons of these types of things that are out there. I just pulled, these are just some of what I pulled from the past, from Nashville, from BDSC, from the virtual event in January. There's new ones that we're coming out with every week. We have a call, we just had a call yesterday, like I said, and BDSC, we have a call tomorrow. But I want to give you an invitation to do something that is pretty crazy. I think you're going to really like this. So check out, this is a really short little video, but check this out.
What if for just $9 you unlock the private playbook of the top sellers on Amazon and beyond? Sellers doing billions of dollars in sales. Not theory, not fluff. Real tools, real strategies, real unfair advantage. Join BDSC for just $9 and you get access to the latest strategies, including the complete recordings from Ecom Mastery AI featuring BDSS in Nashville, 49 expert speakers, 199 tactical nuggets, 28 premium bonuses, more than $81,000 in value. Browse by theme, from AI to PPC to scaling and more. Search by speaker. Open a lesson and instantly access the video, transcript, summary, and slides. Need something specific? Ask our trained AI and instantly find the answers to anything, including exactly who talked about it, where, and what they said. This is selling at a completely different level. Join the $1 Billion Sellers Club for just $9 today. Live events with special guests, replay vaults, AI summaries. The latest multi-million-dollar selling strategies are held live with leading experts 3 times per month. Unlock $1 billion secrets and take your business to the next level. Stop guessing and start scaling. Need answers? The special trained BDSS Oracle gives you actionable guidance. Fast. Way better than ChatGPT. It's trained on the tactics of real operators. Ask any selling question. Get strategic answers immediately. It's like having a private e-commerce AI advisor and consultant on demand. And there's more when you get complete access to the last virtual event as a bonus. 31 speakers, 19 revealing Q&A sessions, more than 200 actionable insights with transcripts, slides, and full presentations. This isn't just content, it's a complete step-by-step action-taking ecosystem built by people operating at the highest level. Unlock all of it for just $9. Cancel anytime. Join thousands of ambitious sellers already using the club to move faster, scale smarter, and stay ahead of the competition. Join today at BillionDollarSellersClub.com and start building your $1 billion empire today.
So I want to invite everybody that's on this call to check out $1 Billion Sellers Club for just $9. And when you do, you'll get access to the full library of the Nashville event and the virtual event from January. So all that stuff that you can cherry pick what's best for you. Plus, you get all the calls, all the past stuff for the last year, plus all the new stuff. Plus, you get access to me to ask me questions on a monthly call. We have a call with 3 experts every month, and then we have another call with a single expert demo and stuff. Like some of what you just saw came from. It's just $9 to try it out, and if you do that, you'll get access, like I said, to both of these. It's right inside the main menu. So once you join and you go into the main menu, you'll see upcoming events. You'll see the call replays tab on the left-hand side. You see a chat tab. You'll see also the links to like the Oracle, the Content Hub, and then the Ecom Mastery login, the BDSS login. You'll just use the same email address. You'll have to register there using the same email address. It's just a quick choose a password, and then it'll recognize you. And then you have full access to those as well. So for just $9, you get the whole Ecom Mastery replays from Nashville, the live calls with every month. You get all the replays, all the summaries. There's AI summaries. You get access to the BS13 Vault. You get access to the Oracle and all the fresh stuff every week. So it's just a billiondollar-sellers.club, where you can scan that QR code to sign up. Just try it for $9. You can cancel anytime. There's no long-term commitment. If you like it, a lot of people do. They stay with us, and it's great content. And a lot of people, they can't make it to the live stuff, but they like to watch the replays. You can watch them in 2x, or just cherry pick what's most appropriate for you, so you don't have to spend a whole lot of time, or have your team go in there and watch this and make a report back.